This is Tier 2, Lesson 3, Greatest Common Factor of Polynomials. Now we want to factor the greatest common factor. Okay, we've done this before where we start with our 3p cubed minus 9p squared, and we want to look for the number that we can divide out of both of these. Well, factors of 3 are 1 and 3, and so we want to see, can we divide 3 out of both 3 and 9? Well, 9 does have a factor of 3, 3 times 3. So we can pull out a 3. However, we have this p cubed, which is p times p times p, and p squared, which is p times p. Well, between the two of them, there are 2 p's. So we can also pull out a p squared out of both of them. So now we have to think, what times 3p squared gives us 3p cubed? Well, 1 times 3 is 3, and p to the first times p squared is p cubed. Then we need to do the same thing with this one. Well, negative 3 times 3 is negative 9, and we just have p squared. So our solution is 3p squared times 1p to the first, or just p, minus 3. So this times this. Okay, so now we're not just pulling out a number that we can divide out of both, we're also looking for how many of the variables we can divide out of both. So now we're going to do the same thing with a trinomial. So 2x cubed plus 26x squared plus 72x. Well, I'm going to start with my smallest number, 2. So my factors are 1 times 2. Well, my largest thing I can divide out is 2. Well, I can divide a 2 out of 26, 2 and 13. And I can divide a 2 out of 72, 2 and 36. So I can divide out a 2. Then I'm going to look at my variables. So I got x cubed, x squared, and x. Well, there's one x in all three, so I can divide out an x. So what I have here is x squared times 2x cubed, right? We get the 2 and x squared, and x is x cubed. Then we have 13 times 2 is 26, and x times x is x squared. Then we have 36 times 2 is 72, and then there's that 1x. My factored form is 2x times x squared plus 13x plus 36. Okay, we factored 2x out of all three terms, and that was what's left over remaining. Now we want to factor the polynomial that's left over, right? X squared plus 13x plus 36. So we're going to look for factors of 36, right? AC, 1 times 36. That adds up to B, which is 13. Well, factors of 36. 1 and 36, that gives me 37. That does not work. 2 times 18. That gives me 20. That doesn't work. 3 times 12 gives me 15. That does not work. 4 times 9, that gives me 13. 4 plus 9 gives me 13. So I can factor this into x plus 4, x plus 9. And remember, if we wanted to divide by a, we can divide by 1, which isn't going to do anything. So we get 2x times x plus 4 times x plus 9. Now this is completely factored, right? This was just a quadratic that we factored.